What up? 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 What up, y'all? So check it out. I want to jump right into this today. What I got going on? It's your boy TCS Rollo from the Cooking Show 262.0. By the way, you can find. I'm gonna add all my socials to the bottom to this ticker here, so you guys go ahead and follow and subscribe wherever you can. We have really big announcements coming up. We have hit really big milestones as far as the show goes. So we got people reaching out. We got people that absolutely want to be a part of it. They're not going to believe you until you start hitting them numbers. You know what I'm saying? So, but we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely, slowly but surely, slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying? We are getting there. We are getting there. Please, no autographs though. You know what I'm saying? I'm a busy guy. So, Pete, here's what we're gonna do. Hey, Alex Murdaugh from the Murdaugh Murders on Netflix. You guys may have heard about the guy. You guys may not have heard about the guy. I'm gonna try to break it down really fast for you. Sometimes I tend to talk too fast when I really get in my groove. So just go ahead and fully pay attention. Alex Murdaugh is a very prominent man. He's a very prominent lawyer from South Carolina. South Carolina, his family has been lawyers as far as tort, civil attorneys, private attorneys, business attorneys, uh, criminal attorneys, you name it, they've done it. They are the family where they're from. Very prominent family called the Murdaughs. You got Buster Murdaugh, who was his son. You got Paul Murdaugh, rest in peace, who was his son. You got Maggie Murdaugh, rest in peace, who was the mother. You got Alec Murdaugh, who was the father. Okay. Now, Alec Murdaugh was a very prominent lawyer. He was caught stealing money um, from clients. Okay, in millions. So he was winning them millions of dollars, and then he was taking money and having it put into different accounts and different trusts and things like that. When you deal with rich people, and these are the things that we have to learn, right? So you have a trust. You have a family trust, okay? And in that trust is just about all your finances, anything that's special to you, you know what I'm saying? And of course you get yourself an LLC, S corp, C corp, you know what I mean, to run this runs that, this runs this, then you got your estate. Okay, now LLC separates you from your estate, so you cannot get, if your LLC gets sued, you don't lose your family house and things like that. I believe that's how it works. Now, I don't know what goes on with these estates and stuff like that. I am not that knowledgeable, so I don't feel comfortable, bringing that up. But basically, the guy was stealing a lot of money. He has about, I think, $4.5 million coming from his father's estate. He's probably got money coming from his mother's estate. Um, I don't know if there was any insurance money collected from the homicides, but what happened was the guy was addicted to opiates. Okay, he got caught embezzling money. His son was in a boating accident, which a girl named Mallory Beach was killed in. Now, in this boating accident, he tried to make it seem like it was another guy that did the driving and not his son. And it turned out that forensically it was not possible. The other man could be driving because he was banged up pretty bad, and just the sides and none of it added up. So the kid was driving. He was charged with boating while intoxicated and causing homicide and great bodily harm, some other things like that. The family ended up getting sued for about, I don't know, like, between 10 and 30 million or something like that, or 14 and 30 million. I don't remember exactly. And not too long after this, his family gets murdered. Okay. Um, in cold blood. One of them got hit with a 300 blackout. The other one got hit with, I think, 12 gauge with the bird pellets, the double odds, and the slug. That's like getting hit 9 times. I think there's like 9 pellets in each one of them. That's like getting hit with a nine times. You know what I'm saying? Plus a slug. So these were brutal. These were very brutal and very malicious acts, and that were carried out upon his family, his blood, his loved ones. You know what I mean? The people he raised, the son he raised. But what I got for y'all today is a forensics expert. Now, this expert came in before this trial was wrapped up. This trial is wrapped up. This man has since been found guilty. He is serving 2 life sentences. All right. Now, I encourage you to go watch the Murdaugh Murders on Netflix so you can get the full rundown of what was going on. Also, the entire trial is on YouTube, so you can go ahead and go to that. But what I'm going to do is jump into this forensics expert to show you guys how it works, how they read body language and all that. We were trained to do that in car sales as well. We were trained to do a number of things in car sales that detectives were trained to do. So we basically take the same kind of training as them because it's all manipulation. Tell the truth. It's all manipulation. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into a video of a forensics body language person, and she is going to show the signs of deception. And then I also want to jump in the comments and read a couple of the comments. And then I also really want you guys, any one of you that have seen this, to jump in the comments and let me know what you feel. I want to add a whole dialogue in the comments, which I might bring a panel up. And out of them comments, the people that are commenting the best, I'm going to choose you guys maybe tomorrow to come on the show. I'm going to send you a link. Bam, you pop up on the camera with me and let's have a dialogue. Let's talk about this thing. Let's break it down if you guys are interested. And let's do what we do. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get y'all into this video because I love you and I don't want to keep your time. Bam, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
And she was a wonderful girl, wonderful wife. She was a great mother. Uh, she, she didn't work, and she always said it was her job since she was privileged to know how to work. She was gonna make sure she took care of me and the boys, and I mean, she did everything.
Body language expert Dr. Lillian Glass breaks down the newly released videos of accused killer Alec Murdaugh. What does his behavior and demeanor tell us? Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. The video and audio evidence in the Alec Murdaugh murder trial has been nothing short of key. We have been trying to analyze these tapes of the defendant in the hope of telling us, does it tell us whether he killed his wife Maggie and son Paul? Remember, their bodies were found on their family property, shot to death back on June 7th of 2021. So what do the videos show? Well, we are no experts. I am no expert, but thankfully, we do know an expert.
I got
Body language expert and communications consultant Dr. Lillian Glass is with us now. Dr. Glass, thank you so much for coming back here on Sidebar.
So glad to be here. Thank you.
What I am going to do is I'm going to go through a series of videos and we're going to have you analyze them. So does that sound good?
Perfect.
Okay, I want to start with something that's very big. So after the killings, Alec Murdaugh sits with investigators in a car. He has his attorney in the back seat. And let's first start with one piece of audio that has become quite controversial.
And you definitely saw a traumatic picture, and I know it's not hard or not easy. I know it's hard. And sitting here talking today is tough. It's just so bad. They did it so bad.
Okay, Dr. Glass. So
What'd y'all
here
hear?
we have the infamous.
They did it so bad.
I did them so bad.
What'd y'all hear?
They did them so bad. If you ask me, I could hear it either way, but I'm leaning towards they did them so bad. Is that a genuine reaction? What did you make of it?
I didn't think it was a genuine reaction at all. Absolutely.
Okay, so you can hear him say they did him so bad. Other people are saying that he said I did him so bad there. So she's going to break that down.
Not. I didn't think this was a genuine reaction at all. And the reason why is because when a person cries, it escalates. It doesn't go from 0 to 100. And that's what happened here. You also see that he's triggered on the word traumatic. As soon as the word traumatic was said by the investigator, he is automatically starting his crying routine. And then you see his shoulders are heaving. That doesn't happen unless a person can't catch his breath and unless they've been crying for a while.
Like that.
He
type
also
shit.
turns to the side as not to let himself be seen crying. And he leans over. He positions his body so he's not seen.
Keep in mind, this
So
is a
this,
very
to
sharp
me,
attorney.
Smacks of somebody who is not very genuine.
The man, I mean.
Wow. Okay, and let me ask you: is it I did them so bad, or they did them so bad? Excuse me. Is it I did him so bad, or they did him so bad?
When he said they did him
I
so
think
bad.
it would be they. You know.
Everybody
Okay, so
tried to
you
say they said
think
he
in
said,
other words,
I did him
if
so
you
bad.
believe it's not a genuine reaction, he's covering his tracks by saying they did him so bad.
Absolutely. I mean, you see this throughout, and it's he's volunteering too many facts, too much information. You just see many signals of deception.
Right.
Okay, let's get into that, because then he tells investigators, so this is, the order of it is not entirely correct, but at one point during the interview, he goes through his alibi. Let's take a look.
What did you do once Maggie and Paul left?
I stayed in the house.
Okay.
And I was watching TV, looking at my phone, and I actually fell asleep on the couch.
Okay. And what time did you?
I don't know
wake up?
exactly what time I woke up, but when y'all get my phone, I think one of the first things I did when I got up was call Maggie because I was going to my mom's. And I know I texted her because I checked my phone. And what time do we say the text was, Jim? It's like 9:06.
I didn't see it. Yeah, I got it written down from the other
night. I showed you the other night,
yes,
didn't I?
Yes, sir. I got
so, I texted her. So I called her just before that. And, I mean, she didn't answer at that point. And I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
Checked on my mom, talked with Shelly for a few minutes.
Shelly is
the caregiver.
Okay.
And, I know that I called some people on the way there. I know I returned a call from my brother John. I went back home. I got to the house. I went inside. Nobody was there. I got in the car. I went back to the kennels, and
And when you went back to the kennels, besides Maggie and Paul, did you see anybody, any cars?
I didn't see anything right then, no, sir.
Take your time.
I saw Maggie and I saw Paul laying down. I knew, I didn't know, I knew it was bad. I went over there and, I saw it.
Yeah.
Remember, that's his alibi. His alibi is that he didn't go down to the kennels. He goes to visit, he takes a nap, he leaves that place, he goes to visit his mom, comes back, can't find him, goes down to the kennels, discovers their body, and calls at 10:06, 911, 10:06. What do you think?
Right. Well, in this situation,
All right. So check it out. Check it out. Now, when I'm looking at this guy, right? When he was heaving and he doing all that, bro, there was no tears. You know what I'm saying? That's always the first sign. I always look at somebody like that that's trying to cry in front of me and don't have no tears. This is understood on the youngest level. My son is 5 weeks old, and he does this. He cries and cries. You don't see one tear in his eye, right? He just wants to be held, or he wants his mom or his daddy or whatever he wants, right? So this guy does all that. There's no red bags under his eyes. There's no red from where he's wiping with the tissue. His nose ain't red. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was up on a stand, if you check out that, bro, he has snot dripping out his nose right on live TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just want to say there's a few other points that I'm looking at that this lady's not looking at that I can definitely identify that this man is lying. You know what I'm saying? Especially the way he's sitting, the way his eyes are looking. He's looking like he knows the next question that's coming, like he wants to be ready for the next question. Keep in mind, we are talking about a very high profile attorney. Let's roll.
Reveals himself. He leaks. He says, I called Maggie. I think I called Maggie. No, I
Look at his
know I
face.
texted her. And again, you would know if you called somebody.
Nose not
or not.
red,
So this
eyes
was
not red.
quite revealing to me.
I mean, he should have been crying
He
for
also gets
days.
very
His nose should have
aggressive.
been rubbed raw.
He says, didn't I tell you that? Didn't I give you that information? Don't you have it on my timeline? Don't you have it? So he gives a timeline situation that, he's trying to cover himself. And he's very mechanical. You also see some hand movements that are quite revealing, where he's, trying to stress like that
beer.
This death didn't happen. But they're not the hand movements that somebody would use when they are being genuine or being forthright. So this concerned me.
The only response I'd have to that, if someone's in a traumatic situation, aren't they still feeling that, even if it's the night of, a few days later, can that not affect how a person behaves?
It can, but in his
attorney in the back seat. And let's first start.
Let me get y'all some volume here. Sorry.
With one piece of audio that has become quite controversial.
And you definitely saw a traumatic picture, and I know it's not hard or not easy. I know it's hard. And sitting here talking today is tough. It's just so bad. They did it so bad.
Okay, Dr. Glass. So here we have the infamous, I did them so bad, they did them so bad. If you ask me, I could hear it either way, but I'm leaning towards they did them so bad. Is that a genuine reaction? What did you make of it?
I didn't think it was a genuine reaction at all. Absolutely not. I didn't think this was a genuine reaction at all. And the reason why is because when a person cries, it escalates. It doesn't go from 0 to 100. And that's what happened here. You also see that he's triggered on the word traumatic. As soon as the word traumatic was said by the investigator, he is automatic at all. He also turns to the...
What did you do once Maggie and Paul left?
I stayed in the house.
Okay.
And
in the house.
I was watching TV,
in the house,
looking at my phone, and I actually fell asleep on the couch.
Okay.
Where's the tears, my nigga?
And what time did you?
I don't know
wake up?
exactly what time I woke up, but when y'all get my phone, I think one of the first things I did when I got up was call Maggie because I was going to my mom.
On his leg.
And I know I texted her because I checked my phone. And what time do we say the text was, Jim? Like 9:06.
I didn't see it. Yeah, I got it written down from the other night.
I showed you the other night, didn't I?
Yes, I got this.
So, I texted her. So I called her just before that. And
bro, there's no.
She didn't answer at that point.
None of that.
And I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
Checked on my mom. Talked with Shelly for a few minutes.
Shelly is
the caregiver.
Okay.
And I know that I called some people on the way there. I know I returned a call from my brother John. I went back home. I got to the house. I went inside. Nobody was there. I got in the car. I went back to the kennels, and
And when you went back to the kennels, besides Maggie and Paul, did you see anybody, any cars?
I didn't see anything right then, no, sir.
Take your time.
I saw Maggie and I saw Paul laying down. I knew, I didn't know, I knew it was bad. I went over there and, I saw it.
Yeah.
Remember, that's his alibi. His alibi is that he didn't go down to the kennels. He goes to visit, he takes a nap, he leaves that place, he goes to visit his mom, comes back, can't find him, goes down to the kennels, discovers their body, and calls at 10:06, 911, 10:06. What'd you think?
Right. Well, in this situation, he reveals himself. He leaks. He says, I called Maggie. I think I called Maggie. No, I know I texted her. And again, you would know if you called somebody or not. So this was quite revealing to me. He also gets very aggressive. He says, "Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I give you that information? Don't you have it on my timeline? Don't you have it?" So he gives a timeline situation that he's trying to cover himself, and he's very mechanical. You also see some hand movements that are quite revealing, where he's trying to stress like that this death didn't happen, but they're not the hand movements that somebody would use when they are being genuine or being forthright. So this concerned me.
The only response I'd have to that, if someone's in a traumatic situation, aren't they still feeling that, even if it's the night of, a few days later, can that not affect how a person behaves?
It can, but in his case, it's inconsistent. Usually, what you said was very good, very true, but it has to be consistent, and it's not consistent with Alex at all.
Okay, well, let's get into that, because now I want to show you the body cam footage from the night of the killings. This is when officers respond, and I'm referring to Daniel Green, one of the officers. We're going to look at his body cam and react to it together.
Sir, I wanted to let you know, because of the scene, I did go get a gun and bring it down here.
It's in your vehicle? Do you have any guns on you at all?
No, sir. It's leaning up against the side of my car.
Okay. You're fine, man. You're fine. Turn around for me.
I don't have any.
Okay. Yes, sir. I see that. Okay. This is your wife and son?
Oh, and son.
Okay.
It's bad. It's bad. Check the pulses.
Yes, sir. This is the firearm you brought from inside the house?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I went and got. This is a long story. My son was in a boat wreck a few months back. He's been getting threats. Most of it's been benign stuff we didn't take serious.
Okay.
He's been getting like punched. I know that's somebody. I know that's what it is.
Okay, so that's his first reaction. He starts talking about how he assumed, or he suggests what might have happened here. He informs the officer he has a weapon. What did you make of that?
Well, he's very confident in when he's speaking. So that's one of the things. And his body language is expansive and confident. And when something traumatic happens, people kind of shrink in. Their shoulders go down. They don't have that outward body movement where you see their chest and they explain everything. So he's trying to be in control. And also to say what happened. He would be more tentative because that's what I think happened. He's pretty sure of himself and his tone and how he delivers it. Most people would say, I don't know what happened. One of the things that may have happened was blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't do that. He's very sure of himself. He's very confident, and he's setting up an alibi here.
Let's watch a little bit more of the body cam, a little bit more of an emotional moment.
You check them.
We got medical guys that are that's what they're gonna do. Okay.
What are they doing? Can they hurry?
They are. Yes, sir. That gentleman that was out here already, he's one of the battalion chiefs. Okay.
Somebody going to check them?
Yes, sir. They've already checked them.
They did check them?
Yes, sir.
This is official that they're dead?
Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
So I find that really interesting because it's almost as if he's not sure if they are alive or not, and wants emergency services to come immediately to check on them. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, that's again, but you don't. It doesn't ring true. It doesn't feel genuine. And you also notice that he turns his body away from the camera. I mean, this is a savvy attorney. He knows.
All right, peeps. I'm gonna go through a couple of the comments for you. All right. Throughout Alex, this is the sidebar podcast pin description. Throughout Alex Murdaugh's family murder trial, the disgraced lawyer has displayed a roller coaster of emotions while listening to testimony, plus footage showing police questioning disbarred South Carolina attorney on multiple occasions after the murder of his wife and son in June 2021 was recently released by the court. The Law and Crime Network's Jesse Weber and body language expert Dr. Lillian Glass dissect Murdaugh's behavior at different times in the case and discuss what can potentially be inferred from analyzing his actions. let's get down here to these commentos. This was premeditated by CR. He asked his wife to come over so they could go to visit his father. He asked Paul to come so they could plant sunflowers. Now both of them are dead, and he was the last person with them, which he denied until everyone identified him as being on the scene based on Paul's video. All of a sudden, his defense changed and he admitted that he lied. Why? Because he was identified as being on the scene, and there was no way he could get out of being found guilty. Now, all of a sudden, he's in defense. He gets on the stand because he thinks he can outwit the DA with a sick what a sick pathological liar. This man literally massacred his wife and son. If only the dogs could talk. Yo, for real. For me, this is Miss Kitty. It's when the cops show up at the murder scene and Alex says almost right away, it's a long story. Like he's going to go into a whole history of the boat accident. Yeah, of course he was. He said, actually, he said in the 911 recording, he goes, I should have known. So the way he uncrosses his arms and steps towards the camera when asking it's official that they're dead is so revealing. He's very eager to get this information and can't hide the change in tone in his voice at the end of his sentence. It goes from tearful to cold and matter of fact. If he was innocent, this would be something he dreaded hearing, but his body language and words suggest the opposite. Let me see. Let me try to find a good one. He had a story in his head by Carla Max 3. He had a story in his head of why someone shot him that he couldn't help himself. He was already 3 steps ahead with what he was saying and ahead in natural emotions after discovering the body. He even told his sister-in-law that whoever did it must have thought about it for a long time. Yes, he sure did. The thing about body language is that it's difficult to hide is the eyes when recalling details of an experience. When the eyes are shifting around and surging around, it is an indicator of recalling the story from imagined memory. Memorize details plus adjusting on the fly, recalling experiences, especially from the pain. There is a lot more long staring into other nothing or closed eyes. Looking away from people you are telling your experience to is a sign of truthfulness, not watching that person face to judge if what lies you're telling is sticking or appears to be received as unbelievable. This guy's guilty 100%. So just scrolling down here, we see that everybody thinks he's pretty much guilty. We got a little bit to go here. Let's go ahead and get it out the way, man.
Cameras and what's going on.
So you think he was purposely shifting himself based on the body cam?
Yes, I do. Because he turns away whenever there's emotion, supposedly. Like when he's crying, it escalates. It doesn't go to a, from, 1 to 2 to 3, and you see it progression. It immediately goes from 1 to 100. And so he's bending over, he's doing all of these things to indicate he's distraught, and, leaning over. So I do think
walking
he's very
a lot, so you think more when you walk. And he's pacing, he's walking, he's getting everything.
Before we get into the
together,
last
he's,
2 pieces of video, I'm sure you've seen Alec Murdaugh in court.
Yes.
During certain parts of testimony, particularly, when they were talking about the graphic killings of his son and wife and the autopsy findings, he gets very emotional. He appears to get very emotional. I'm assuming you don't think that's genuine either.
There's no tears. We don't see tears.
I saw a tear one day. I actually saw, and I hate to get graphics, stuff coming out of his, no.
Yeah, the mocos.
That's interesting.
I saw that too. Yeah, mad snot.
I didn't see any tears. But again, it is emotional. He's lost his family to maybe his hand, and he got caught, and he realizes that this is pretty serious. It's the reality that he's sitting in a courtroom.
Yeah,
but he also is a very savvy attorney, and he knows what to do.
You are not a good-looking woman
into the equation. Very savvy.
While I have you here, Dr. Glass, I have to ask you about
Russell.
2 critical pieces of tape. So the first one is the Snapchat video that was taken off of Paul's phone, what is about an hour before prosecutors say the killings happened. And then there is a birthday video from about a week before the killings, Alec Murdaugh's birthday, where he's surrounded by family and friends.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday, blood pop. Oh, I wish I got away with
The
it.
question that everybody has,
You know what he
how does
wished
he
for.
look so happy and he's with his family and having a nice light moment, and then he's about to brutally murder them? Explain it to me.
Well, sociopathy works that way.
Yes.
And, he obviously did have a
Bro, I've dealt with a
emotion on it.
sociopathic
When
woman.
you really see the first,
She's in jail
when
right
the
now.
tree is cut down, you see something kind of interesting. You see him first go,
She's
oh
trying
no,
to make me sound like
or fall
everything
down, I
she
should say.
was.
You see him like putting his hand to his head, and then he tries
That's a
to save the
sociopath.
tree. He's trying to pick up the tree, and then he realizes that that's hopeless, and he's shaking his head. So it shows the element of control, that he needs to control things, and so that's very, very relevant. Also, I wanted to add that I watched the entire interview with the police officers in the car, and he doesn't really like Paul, from what I gather. He says negative things about him, that he leaves things around, and he's really angry when he says that, very disturbed. So this is like, oh no, Paul doing something else, or this is look at this.
But did he not look genuinely happy, at least in the birthday video, or at least with his son?
The birthday, yes, I was talking about the chopping down, or the.
So you don't think he looks happy in that video either?
No, I don't think he looked.
What about
happy
the
at all.
birthday?
But in the birthday one, he was very happy. He was, thank you so much. He even moved things out of the way to put the cake there. So he was involved. He was receptive to when he was hugged. He even said, hey, babe. He calls her, thank you, babe. And it was like nothing happened. He was very, very happy. He was extremely happy, as a matter of fact.
So if that's a genuine expression of happiness, it's still so strange to think that he would a week later kill his family. But hey, I've seen cases before where these kinds of killings happen.
You want to
these
make sure
crimes
they got
happen,
some cake and ice
would
cream
never
first.
expect it. So listen, Dr. Glass, I know this is your perspective. I know this is your take on it. Not sure if we're right or wrong. We'll see which way the jury ultimately goes, but I think it was a really interesting conversation. Thanks for taking the time.
All right, man.
Thank
yeah,
you so
thanks
much
for
for
taking the time. Thanks for taking the time, man. You know what I'm saying? Make like a tree and beat it. You feel me? So check it out, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments, okay? I would really like to have a dialogue about this. So I really encourage you. The Netflix documentary is very, very short, and remind you that is pre-conviction. Okay, we are now in post-conviction. He has been convicted of murder and in every one of these other crimes. There's also some phone calls that you can go on YouTube and listen to him talking to his son. And, they're trying to hide assets and stuff like that. Hey, go get that big heavy bulldozer that your uncle borrowed me. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Go get the Milwaukee tools that I borrowed from your uncle, and the Mercedes Benz and all these things. And they're liquidating their assets and turning them into cash. And then they even caught the son at the casino. You know what that move is. Any of my guys, you know what the casino move is. You know what I mean? You're the man. But check it out, man. Today's actually been a very bad day for me. I got some bad news, but you know what? I thought about it and I said, you know what, man? Life is life, and life is going to happen. Life is going to happen, and the only thing we can do is roll with the punches. I just found out minutes ago that my cousin passed away due to cancer, and his name was Martin Schmitz Jr. And he was a big brother to me, and I like to say rest in peace, bro. It's definitely not easy, but I'm gonna be a man, and I'm gonna hold you in memory in my heart, forever. And I hope that I made you proud, bro. God bless your soul. God bless your soul. So I am going to jump off camera. This was a little way of coping for me to get up on here with my people and rock out with y'all. Let y'all know that I love you. I hope you viewed this video. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. I really want you guys to comment. Let me know what you think. If you've seen this, Let me know what you think. If you're from South Carolina and you know this family, yo, definitely weigh in. Let me know anything that other people may not know. Let me know. We'll jump into this thing, man. We go full investigation. We shoot out South Carolina and get it cracking because we are the cooking show 262. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And I am RYL 2 times to the O. TCS 262.0, the cooking show 262.0. Remember, the cooking show 262.0, same name on Facebook and YouTube. Then you got TCS Rilo is my Facebook page, and TCS underscore Rilo is my Instagram page. So tap in, follow, like, send me to the algorithms, y'all. We are almost there. We are growing. I owe it all to y'all, and I promise you, I am going to make sure every one of you benefit from it. That's my word as a man. Thank you. God bless you. I love you. Peace. Smash that subscribe before you go, and that like and that share. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Because I love y'all, man. Peace.